Hello and welcome to the first lesson. In this lesson, you will learn the basic principles of presentation skills. The topic is speech communication process. In this lesson, you will get to identify various elements of speech communication process, and you will get to understand the functions of the elements in making presentations effective. Before giving your first speeches, it is helpful to understand how communication between individuals work. No matter the type of speech, there are 7 key elements involved: the speaker, the message, the channel, the listener, feedback, interference, and the situation. It is best to observe how these parts interact when a speaker conveys a message to an audience, which makes you become a better speaker. First, let's look at the functions of a speaker. The person presenting a spoken message to a group is known as the speaker. Their effectiveness depends on various elements, such as their trustworthiness, understanding of the topic, their readiness, delivery style, and the sensitivity to the audience and setting. When the speaker expresses authentic enthusiasm, it draws the audience in. And for this reason, it is important that the speaker is genuinely passionate about the message or idea they are sharing. Second is the message. The message is the main idea or information you want to share with your audience. A good speaker makes sure the audience clearly understands the message just as it was meant to be understood. To do this, communication must be clear, correct, interesting, and suitable for the audience. This means using reliable research, strong supportive points, and organizing ideas in a logical way. The way you speak also matters. Your tone of voice, your appearance, gestures, facial expressions, and eye contact all help deliver your message effectively. Most importantly, your body language should support what you're saying, not distract the audience from it. Third is the channel. The channel is the way a message is delivered to the audience. In public speaking, speakers often use more than one channel, and each one affects how the audience receives the message. For example, a radio speech uses only the speaker's voice, while a television speech includes both voice and visuals. A live speech, on the other hand, is the most direct form because the audience get to see and hear the speaker at the same time, without any electronic interference. Knowing the channel helps speakers choose the best way to deliver their message. When speakers understand the channel, they can speak more clearly, connect better with the audience, and avoid confusion. This makes the message easier to understand and more effective. Next is the listener. The listener is the person who receives and makes sense of the speaker's message. Communication cannot happen without listeners. However, each listener understands the message in their own way, based on their background, beliefs, values, goals, and past experiences. Because everyone is different, no message is understood exactly the same by every person. Hence why good public speakers adjust their message to match their audience. Being audience-centered means thinking about what matters to the listeners and connecting the message to their interests, knowledge, and values, making the speaker more relatable and more effective. Next is feedback. Feedback is the response that the speaker and listener give to each other during communication, often without using words. It shows how the audience feels about the message. For example, like clapping, laughing, looking confused, or losing focus are all the types of feedback. Good speakers notice these signals and change their speaking style if needed. It is most important to remember that feedback depends on the audience's background, experience, and way of thinking. However, there can be interference. Interference is anything that gets in the way of clear communication. It can come from outside, like traffic noise, people talking, or even the temperature of the room. It can also come from inside the listener themselves, such as tiredness, stress, or distractions by emotions. Good speakers try to reduce both kinds of interference so they can keep the audience focused and interested. Lastly, is the situation. The situation is the time and place where communication happens. Understanding the situation helps speakers adjust their message, especially when talking about emotional or sensitive topics. Different occasions need different speaking styles. For example, the way you speak at funerals or church services or even graduation, these are not the same. The situation also depends on where you are and how many people you are speaking to. Like, are you indoor or outdoor? In a classroom, in a big hall, or are you with a small group of people? So, how does it all connect? It happens when a speaker sends a message through channels and also try to understand the situation to deliver the idea or the message to the listeners. Listeners then provide feedback to the speaker. At the same time, the listener can be interfered by their own emotions or by their surrounding, which later acts as feedback to the speaker, where the speaker has to adapt and respond accordingly. Let's see this in action. A given scenario is a student giving a classroom presentation on reducing plastic use. The first element is the message itself. So you would like to give tips on reducing plastic. You would give facts, statistics, and even examples. So how would a speaker adapt to this? He or she could use relatable examples and clear explanations. Next, understanding the channel. The channel can be spoken words, visual slides, gestures, and also eye contact. The adaptation that the speaker can use is try to add intonations, variety in their voices, their gestures, and also adapting their visual aids. The listener. Understanding the listeners can be most effective. Classmates might have different views and habits, so try to connect these topics to the student's life. Next is feedback. Are your audience nodding? Are they confused looking? Are the teachers even raising an eyebrow? So what a speaker could do here is to slow down, clarify, repeat, and even ask questions like, does that make sense to you? Do you want me to repeat anything? Do you have questions that you would like to ask me? Some interference can actually happen, like phone ringing, a stuffy room, distracted students. But in this case, try to remain calm, re-engage with the audience, put in humor in, and also adjust your pacing. Understanding the situation is also very helpful. If it's a formal classroom task during school hours, then do try to maintain respectful tone, avoid any slang, keep it to the standard language, and always stay focused on the message and also to your audience. All in all, understanding how communication works helps you become a clearer, more confident speaker who connects well with the audience. Remember that public speaking isn't just about talking. It's about making sure your message reaches and matters to the people. Great speakers don't just speak, they make a real connection. When you understand the communication process, you're not talking at people, you're talking with them. And that's the true goal of communication. I hope that you have understood this first basic principle of presentation skill, which is the speech communication process. Do ask any questions that you have in the comment section below. Underneath the notes, you will also find a question do answer them in the comment section as well. Till then, hope to see you in the next lesson. Thank you.